Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Santa Bubba. Today, on Monday, December 7th, 2020. According to President Roosevelt, a day would live in infamy, and a lot of you have forgotten about it. Pearl Harbor. Well, there's some facts about Pearl Harbor that they don't teach you in school. And why did we get Pearl Harbor? And why are we today? Well, let me give you a few facts. When World War I ended in 1918, and President Woodrow Wilson went to Europe to participate in the Versailles Treaty, he wanted to put a lot of things in there. He called them the 14 points. And a lot of European leaders and monarchs hated the fact that you had an upstart American here to mess up our deal. They wanted to penalize Germany. That's all they cared about. And the 14 points never went anywhere in the Versailles Treaty except for one thing that he had, the League of Nations, which was a disaster in its own right. The 1920 elections, 100 years ago, was the same thing as today. You had the Republicans under Warren G. Harding and Calvin Coolidge, who were promoting what Trump has promoted for the last 4 years, and look at the disaster that he had caused. He called it, let's make America great again. But 100 years ago, it was known as isolationism. And that's what you guys had in the last 4 years, isolationism. Okay? So from 1921 to 1933, that's what you had, isolationism. And you guys went all hog on everything. Didn't care anything. The government didn't care anything about nothing. Same as Trump. Does he care anything about the virus? Hell no. He would have mitigated that a long time ago and probably won the election if he did. But the people didn't care. They kept on voting Republicans in. I mean, Warren G. Harding died under mysterious circumstances in 1923. Calvin Coolidge was a worse president than he was. And he got run for election on his own right in 1924, got elected big time. And by the time he left in 1929, he had left a disaster, which Hoover inherited. And Hoover was no better than Coolidge. He didn't know what to do. He was like Trump. We'll sit here for 4 years and see how this goes. And the depression, the crash of 1929 that happened under his watch got worse and worse and worse until 1932. It was so bad that you had a very famous American general, Douglas MacArthur, was sent by Hoover to eliminate the World War I veterans who were promised a bonus by Woodrow Wilson and did not get it. So they put a Hooverville, that's a shanty town, as they call them today, in the White House Mall, in the Washington Mall area there. And General MacArthur went over there with his horses and trampled. A lot of people died there because he trampled with the tents out of there. That's a very sad chapter in American history which you don't even tell your kids. So you see, President Trump's idea of first America first and isolationism has been tried and failed miserably. And for you right-wing extremists, I hope that doesn't come back again. Now for you left-wing extremist Democrats, you tried your stuff too under Roosevelt from 1933 to 45. And it failed miserably. He tried the CCCP, the WPA, and all other kinds of things which the Supreme Court kept on throwing it out. The only two things of his administration that came to fruition that were good was the TBA, and that was bad because they threw people out of their own houses at ridiculously low prices, and sometimes nothing. That's something you should look into, Democrats. And the Social Security, which has been a disaster because nobody knew how to administer it. Then came World War II. The isolationists cost World War II because the Japanese took that as a weakness. The Germans took that as a weakness. And you can't be extremist military or extremist non-military. You have to be down the center, and that's something you Americans don't seem to understand. So the lesson of Pearl Harbor has never been learned. And now you got a Joe Biden here that looks like Woodrow Wilson. And you're going to have another 4 years of agony here. Anyway, this is your favorite alien and Boomer Moose Bubba. For those of you who are still around and remember Pearl Harbor, you understand what I'm talking about. It caused total war. And you had the Depression. A lot of people today don't understand that Depression. But you're getting it. You're getting some taste of it with the virus. You haven't handled the virus. You handled the virus as much as you handled the Depression. That is Trump's legacy from the isolationist. Anyway, this is your favorite alien and Santa Bubba. Good day.